Jeff, thank you for taking it back. I was not in this country when that music was playing. You and Dr. White was having a good time with Express. Hey, Dr. White seems like he's enjoying his old school music.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Dr. White. Good afternoon, Jeff. Good afternoon, Amania. Good afternoon, WOKB audience. What a great audience. Glad to be here every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. This is the only show where we listen to some good old school music, because when you have this great DJ engineering at the board here, keep us live, keep us fired up. Even though you come here, you might be down or some, but you got Jeff. Jeff, love you, brother. You're doing good. You keep up the hype. Love it, man. I love it. June 10th, happy June 10th. Jeff is celebrating with some good old school music, and that's how we do it. Happy June 10th, Dr. White. Juneteenth.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, does a lot of people know what this holiday is? Because it's been a lot of hype. Y'all know as a Democrat to keep y'all enslaved. I could go the whole story on this.
Right.
But as I've seen people finally getting in the mindset, is not a federal holiday, okay, to celebrate it. The city of Orlando is doing something this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. As we celebrate Martin Luther King birthday, we should emphasize a lot also on this day, because the freedom, because the Democrat did not really want that day for the slave to be free. And that's the story. You cannot turn it around. So it's very interesting how a lot of Democrats now embrace, just like they embrace the 13, the 14, the 15th Amendment, that 80% of them did not propose or support those amendments. For those who went to civic school, who was paying attention, hopefully y'all know the 13, the 14, the 15th Amendment, the Civil Rights, the 1965 Civil Rights Movement, and also the Fair Housing Act in 1968 that the Democrat did not support. Okay? So, and remember, it was the Dixiecrat Democrat who filibustered the Civil Rights Movement. So, just a reminder of history. Just a reminder.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But you
Can't
know,
give him more.
my take on Juneteenth is that, of course, Abraham Lincoln did the proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation, 1863. Okay, the slaves heard about it later in Texas. But the issue about I don't really think much about Juneteenth. You know why? I mean, the first blacks to come to be enslaved in what is now the United States came in 1555.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Some say 1619. And then they kidnapped us, right? From Mother Africa.
Yep.
Then we're supposed to celebrate 1863 by saying, "Oh, we're free." They captured a freed people, and now they say that we're free now in 1863. Then on top of that, that makes it even worse, is that they didn't give any provisions. You know, any country, any society that's been captured or been overrun, now they give provisions. They didn't give any provisions. So now here in 2015, 2025, I'm supposed to be excited. I'm supposed to run around and sing and celebrate and have all of this. What they're really doing is that they are accomplishing nothing, because it was nothing but a made-up holiday in reality of a people who should have been free from the very beginning.
Some part I disagree with you there, but some part I don't.
You know,
Dr. White, because if you look at it, is it because it become a political exploitation That's why we recognize today because it happened under Biden.
Oh
We
yeah,
recognize that day. So
yes,
let's be clear.
yeah.
So it's a political expedient now. This is something that should have been done years because we're in almost our 250 anniversary of this country.
Yeah.
So
See, those types of holidays is nothing more than clearing the conscience of people like Biden and others, make them feel like they're doing something good. But if they really
mhm.
want to do something, they can bring out one word: reparations. I know a lot of people don't like that, but just one word. If you're really concerned um, about changing the wrongs that occurred, well, deal with that issue in a serious manner, and not in a way that Democrats trying to deal with it now, whereby you by saying a term, but really deal with it by implementing action.
Well,
And no one wants to do that
okay.
because they're afraid.
Hold on to it. We'll come back to you. Sister Warrior, Amania, hello. How
Oh,
are you? How you feeling? You looking lovely with that lipstick. You're looking great. You feeling good? Are you fired up? Ready to go?
ready to go, right?
I'm trying, gentlemen. As you can tell, I'm feeling a little bit better. I have been really fighting the bug for the last couple of days. It's been really, really hard, but God willing, I feel better today. I'm not fired up. I'm not really ready to go, but we're gonna make ourselves do this. So, in reference to my thoughts on Juneteenth, I will just say that I do not celebrate or acknowledge Juneteenth as a holiday per se. So, Dr. White, I'm there with you. I think it's really just a dog and pony show. And once, what I would really have to say is that we're celebrating freedom. And for me, that freedom is 1776. It's America's freedom. That means blacks, whites, everybody else, that's our freedom day. That is our day. So it's July 4th, Independence Day. That for me is our freedom day. So I don't count Juneteenth as freedom day.
Well, let me see how many people in the audience agree with you guys. 478941680, 478941680. And let us know. Like to know your input, your opinion about this, your thought about this day. What does it mean to you? Is it overdue? Dr. White is not too happy about this day too. Amania. To me, I just think it should have been a whole lot sooner to recognize the last day of slavery. I think when you look at some of the stuff that is being written about it, it should have been done, but the way the Democrat went about to do it, it was a political expedient. Okay, so I'll just leave it at there. Just leave it there. But I think more and more will get used to it, and it'll become a great holiday. They got to be more spirit into it. That's how I feel. Any final thought, Dr. Ward?
Well, Sister Warrior says something that's really great, and about the American Revolution. You know who was the first person to die in the American Revolution? Do you know? It was a black man by the name of Crispus Attucks.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I mean, so and he put his life on the line, not just for the independence of the United States from the monarchy of England, but for the independence of black people as well. So if you're going to celebrate, maybe we should have a Crispus Attucks Day. You see, that sounds much more important to me than this made up thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when the freedom came, okay, Texas didn't get the news. That doesn't mean it was still going. I don't know what their plantation folks were doing at that time, but it came, it ended. 2 years later, it was over.
Yeah, and in some ways, slavery continued in another name, sharecropping and tenant farming,
Ah,
for another 50 or 60 years, in many respects. So we have to put things in historical perspective, and don't get caught up in the hype of
Okay.
that.
Great point. Great point.
I'll just say real quick,
Go ahead.
over the weekend, as I was laying around trying to recover, I ended up watching some old movies and television. And one of my favorite movies of all time is Gone with the Wind. And it just so happened we were it was, slavery time, what happened back then and what happened during the Civil War. And it just kind of took me back to that moment of seeing what was happening during that time and what was happening with slavery and how it all went for Black people in the South. And it turns out, even when the war was over and, they received their freedom, well, do you know they still stayed on and worked for their plantation owners? They just weren't called slaves anymore, like Issa White says. It was now a different term, but they still stayed because I don't know, were they well taken care of? I don't know, but they still stayed on and worked continuously with those people that had enslaved them.
Okay. Well, let me say hello to a couple people here before we just move on to the program, because we got a lot. We also have a visitor candidate for District 40. Tuan Lee is on his way here to the studio. He's still on traffic. Get some update on how's he doing. Some of the things that's been talking about for District 15 and also 40. So we're going to have an opportunity to have Tuan Lee in the studio. And also, don't forget July 4th, 4th of July, Radio Panic. That's the other radio station in the south side of west side of Oak Ridge, the Haitian radio station. He's having a barbecue. He's having a 4th of July barbecue. It's an annual family barbecue. So for the last 4 years, we didn't have it because of COVID. Okay. So everybody's welcome to have a great time and celebrate and eat, have some Haitian barbecue, have some good time and talk to the host. Hopefully Dr. White will be there and Amania and some of the hosts in this radio station are going to participate with us. So I'm inviting, if you could make it on 4th of July, it started from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. We'll have bouncers for the kids, whole lot of food. We invite some politicians, those that could make it. So by the time the primary for the special election be over, remember the general election for the special election is September 2nd. Okay. So early voting still going on, starting June 12 to June 24 for special election. Senate District 15 and 40. Okay. We do have a couple update in those elections. Let me say hello to Don Miller, my good friend Don Miller. Don, if you're out there listening, I hope you're enjoying it. I would like to hear from Don how he feel about this day, this holiday.
Knowing Don Miller, he's got a T-shirt to wear with it tonight.
I know. I just
go off.
But Don, if you're out there, don't forget to check his show, wonderful show on YouTube and Facebook. Starting at now, his show is going on for 2 hours. From 7 to 9. So he's always have a great show, great topic, very interesting. So Glenn, my good friend Glenn, all good. Glenn, how are you? I also want to know, Glenn, how do you feel about this day? So let us know. So give us a call at 478-944-1680. On June the 14th, we had the military parade. That was the birthday also of Donald Trump. I look at the media, I look at the crowd, things that what was saying by the legacy media. America, it seemed like Dr. White, this is what we got to go back to basic. I was shocked. I think they do it on purpose. Mm-hmm. To hear people didn't realize America since 1865 had military parade.
Right.
this is not Donald Trump parade.
Mhm.
I was listening to some of the media. We had, if you, I know you have your phone next to you because I'm doing something. We had parade after the Civil War. Uh, we had parade after the Vietnam War. We had parade. I think the last parade was 1991, the Gulf War,
Mhm.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. The reason also we stopped some of these parade, one, it become liability. I don't know if you remember. You remember the Blue Angels in
Ye-
Pensacola?
I do.
Do you know
Yes.
why they stopped the
Didn't hear
show?
say a crash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the media is so it's just it's heartbreaking because you're bringing a generation of Americans listening to this nonsense, the propaganda, not knowing America used to have a military parade. And the reason why we do stop like the Blue Angels in Pensacola because there was a crash, it become liability. The government did decide, I don't know when they decide to stop. It was great. It bring what the American value is, what the being a patriotic to this country. And as I was watching the military parade on June 14, I mean, I was crying just to see this. Amania has a son in the military. You see the young kids, you see the crowd.
Mhm.
It was needed for the media to say this is was yes, it happened on the president's birthday. I don't think it was, it happened on the president's birthday. So what? That was the Army celebration day. It happened
Yeah.
on the president's birthday. So the parade took place.
Mhm.
But it was so politicized. The crowd was, yeah, maybe it was 250,000, 300,000. But as we started the next year, it's gonna grow.
I mean, the media is so fixated on trying to make Mr. Trump look like a Hitler, a Stalin, some type of dictator who controls the military and is going to utilize the military against his own people. So they try to create this narrative. Now, what's so disingenuous about it is that we all claim and argue that we are a great military power. All
Yeah.
right. We have the greatest navy in the world. We have the greatest air force in the world. We have the greatest arsenal of everything in the world. So therefore, if you say it and you highlight it, what is wrong with this? There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
In fact, after World War II,
We
I mean,
highlight all the nonsense, the woke culture,
absolutely,
the transgender movement.
absolutely. This is no more than trying to make a stab at a man, not because he's doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with showing off the military. I mean, and there's nothing wrong in saying that you're a strong country, but because it's Trump, they got the problem. And Trump is also highlighting something that they're mad at. That under the Biden regime, the military numbers fell off.
Yeah.
People were not going into the military.
Now every branch of the military, I look at the report today,
Yeah,
is at peak point.
yeah. Even the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
gonna
Yeah,
give
okay.
you a
Mr.
second.
Lee.
He'll give you a second.
because I mean I'm really I want to say something about that topic too because the military the parade.
Well, since
Uh,
you are a guest, I'm gonna give the table to you.
But he didn't give me the chance to introduce him. But
hey, it took
that's
me
Tuan
in.
Lee.
I mean, so
Well, we have
There's Amania right there.
Tuan Lee
oh,
in the house, in the studio, running candidate for District 40. That is, he's not new to this. He's not, he's been running for election. That's his passion. He loves it. I don't know how he do it. Is running for election is not easy. It's not easy. It's hard work. So, Tuan Lee, welcome to the studio to Political Flashback every Thursday.
Welcome.
well, Thank you. I'm sorry I tried to jump in because it's
No, you're okay,
it's
you're okay.
motivate me. What I really want to talking about that too. But yes, thank you, Voy, for inviting me here today.
Okay.
And it's my pleasure to be here to speak with Dr. V and Amania. And I don't know, let's see if on virtual
That's
right
Jeff.
now.
That's Jeff.
That's Jeff.
Engineering.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
on the TV, I see her on the monitor.
Yeah.
So I'm running for Florida House District 40 right now, and I think it's at first when I started, I just thing that I want to do for our country, but then it turned me into into a passion, and I see there's so many things that I can be a part of our country or our state to help other, But let me get back to the discussion of the parade
Okay.
because I don't know if you know this or not, but like a month before our parade, that Russia had the parade too.
Right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
and Russia had the parade during the war with Ukraine,
Right.
and then before that, the Vietnam had the parade too,
Okay.
and then in China had parade too. So look, the whole communism party, they show their power, and they show the world what they can do. And American is a superpower country, and we don't have a parade for year, for decade. It's something wrong.
Since 1991.
So yes, in 1991, you know that's that's too long,
Yeah.
and this is not something um that we shouldn't talk about. We should talk more about it. We should to have it. We should have. I mean, if possible, we like to have it every
It
year.
brings a sense of love for the country.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the our soldier, men and women who serve our country, if we do something like this, is a proud appreciation of what they did for us here. They go out there, they to protect this country, and we have to do something to make people to think of them. Just it's only 1 days a year, or 1 days, many years. And I think what President Trump had done, is a great thing for our country, to motivate other people want to join the military. But look at our enemy. They show us what they have, and there's no reason for us not to show them what we can do and our capability is.
Well, the enemy, they know what we can do. To me, the parade is not showing, like you say, Russia, China, North Korea, and Vietnam displaying their weapons. This is not what we do, but I think back in the days, they used to do that, and then America stopped showing the capability of the weapons. But why not give these soldiers a day to be on the street to perform, and for the young people to feel good about America, to embrace that kind of patriotism instead of displaying uh, all kind of like LBGT parade, because we on the LBGT month.
Yeah.
So let me.
I think
That is what I want to say.
Yeah.
That's a word that I mean.
You know,
maybe he should have had a
It's
transgender
just-
in the front.
yeah.
Perhaps everybody would like
You
it.
know, it's just
You know,
it's just
it's really
showing
sick.
all this other nonsense.
Yeah.
Hi, gentlemen. I'm here.
I know. We're gonna go.
So I would like to just add to the conversation that June 14th is a very, very special day because it holds many different days. One, it is Flag Day, right? So that's the day we celebrate our flag. Two, it's the Army's birthday. So that's another reason for the parade. And then three, it's President Trump's birthday. So we've got patriotism at every angle on this day. And so, yes, having a parade to show who we are in military is a good thing. And to Voi's point, it's a day of celebration to show our country, to show our country's power. So everybody gets to show what they can do, and yet America what needs to be modest in who she is, so that what people don't talk about her, so people don't pull her down. No, we need to showcase who we are, our strengths and our power and what we have. And I also think that we should have a parade, not just for the Army, but for the Navy and for the Coast Guard and everybody else, so that we can really showcase who we are as a power player in this whole atmosphere. That's all. Thank you.
Amania, the parade, all the branches of service participate.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well, they were focused on Army. I'm thinking
no.
everybody.
It's for the
Yeah,
whole is the whole branch of services.
I watched 3 hours, so I am very impressed. I watched 3 hour for the parade, and that's why I posted on my Facebook. I'm very impressed,
Mhm.
and if
And
you
that's very interesting for you too, because you're an immigrant, right?
Yeah.
And you immigrated from Vietnam?
Yeah.
All right. And I mean, tell us about that story a little bit. I mean, you immigrated, you support the military. That's fascinating.
Yeah, so many people might know that the Vietnamese people who left Vietnam um, I mean, people who left Vietnam like 20, 30, 40 years ago because of the communism. I mean, I'm not talking about people who left Vietnam now. I mean, they here, many of them for business matter and stuff like that. But people who left Vietnam like 30, 40, 50 years ago is about the communism taking over and the politics matter. And the South Vietnam lose for the North Vietnam. So that's why Vietnam is a communism country. So that's why when I see something like a military or soldier, a patrician, uh, um, all that is remind me of my family served for the South Vietnam, and we all talking about that, and that's why a military for a country is very important. So I always support our military here because I don't have other military to support. So we every year we have to every year on April 30 is a fall of Saigon. So all the Vietnamese are getting together. So I understand for the people who lost their country. So I understand for Ukraine. I understand for Israel, and I understand for people who left their country because of the politics matter and communists. So that's why I always want to protect this country, because I believe like American is the last hope for many people. They want a freedom and they want a liberty, and they and all that stuff like that. That's why I'm running for politics, is because I feel that, and I feel if we don't have the freedom, then this doesn't mean anything. That's why I don't support the corruption from the government, and I don't like the people who against the legislative and human right and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. On that day too, Dr. White, we had the No King uh, protest.
Yeah.
It's funny to me how I watched some of these protests around the country. Uh, the protest was financed by the CCP, which is the Chinese Communist Party,
Mhm.
um, and also some George Soros, and there was another company I didn't mention. I forgot. It's one of the investors out there who put in all this No King parade. And I had to reflect back on back during COVID, where we had a democratic government, where we had Dr. Fauci, who was forced on us to shut down school,
Mhm.
business, okay, come to light, none of that stuff was necessary. Okay. And also did not, if it wasn't for the Supreme Court, as you remember, take the Biden administration to, he was engaged on the unemployment law to force every American on your job to get the COVID vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
As all this thing was going on, and I'm looking at these people, listen to them on the street, that Trump is acting like a dictator, Trump is acting like a king.
Yeah.
But haters people, and also where school board parents were being targeted
Mm-hmm.
under his administration, who was not allowed on school board meeting to express what's going on in the school board meeting. To me, a party that's embraced a movement that day, no king protest, by the Communist Party.
Well, the Democrats, they deal with slogans, and they really, and in these slogans, they really treat Americans as if Americans are dumb and cannot analyze. For example, the slogan a few months ago was oligarchy. Oligarchy. We have an oligarchy, and they're controlling things. Most people don't even know what the hell it meant. All right, but they got people caught up in this oligarchy thing. Then now, what is it? Then they have what? Juneteenth. Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? I don't rightfully know, but it's Juneteenth. Then what is that now? Now we talk about no king. What does no king mean? I don't know, but we don't want one. No king. All right. They get you caught up in slogans to take you off from what you really need to be talking about, which are many things much more important. Right? All right. We have economic issues.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting ready to go into a war. We have politicians being arrested because they're not following the rule of law and not following the Constitution. This is for you, Mr. Lee. That's why we have to have you in to talk about these types of things.
You see, the when I look at the protests going on right in the last couple of days, and it's a joke. You know why it's a joke? So I see a Mexican flag, it holding up and burn American flag. If these people they really want to stay here, they shouldn't bring the Mexican flag in the first place.
You mean you telling me you will not fly your Vietnamese flag in your house?
Well, no, well, here, look at it this way. The Vietnamese flag or Mexican flag is for peaceful time, not a protest time. Because they protest that American kick the illegal immigrant back to where they come from. So in order for American feel bad that we kick them back, they have to come up with some nicer proposal with American flag, how they worry, how they care for the job, for the life and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The Mexican flag is come place when a peaceful time, an event with American flag, not on the protest to again American flag. That's why when I look at it, it's a joke to me. If any Vietnamese people who protest American by bringing a Vietnamese flag in, I'm not gonna appreciate that. I'm not going to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. Now and the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. If they protest against something American, then show us why you care for this country, mm-hmm. and you don't want to damage this country. And if you want to damage this country, then go back to your country if you love your country so much. I mean, I'm straight to the point.
That's powerful. If they don't like it so much, you're telling them to go back home.
Well, if they don't like us, then go back home. Why you come here and bring your flag here and burn American flag? That's not respect at all. Mm-hmm. If you don't respect me and you come to my house and you're talking about your stuff better than mine, then just get out.
I heard the former governor of California say this morning, what is his name? Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger on the View. He had a
Yes.
oh my God.
And he said something that's very interesting. He said,
I'll
you
get
got
it
to be
for
like a
you.
guest. If you're a guest, then be respectful.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
he said that when I'm a guest in somebody's home, I clean up the bedroom, I make the bed, I am thankful.
Mhm.
But these people are not acting like guests.
And,
They,
yeah, and he says something. He says something very simple, very basic. When somebody invite you to their house, you want to behave a certain way.
Mhm.
Okay, you want to be respectful to their house, go by their rules. That is basic.
Yeah.
That is just basic. Why do you come here and trying to destroy everything that you're against? And then you came here in a way that and some of them came here not even was invited. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just that point,
I mean,
just very basic.
that's something.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why when I
I think Amania wants
Yeah, I would just add to that. That clip has really gone viral because it was taken on The View with the cackling hens. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, former governor of California, by the way, who is a Republican, by the way, who is also a never Trumper, right? Anti Trump. But he was saying when they pushed the question about ICE, he went in saying how much he loves America, how he has been embraced by America, how he came here as a young man, how he became a movie star, how he became a governor, how he produced this beautiful family. It's because America embraced him and gave him the opportunity, and he loves and respects America. And anybody coming into this country, this is how you should be. You should not come in here disrespecting the country, because if you're coming here for opportunity, opportunity is here. But coming here, burning our flag, destroying cities, destroying businesses, that is being disrespectful. And we don't want you here. If that's what you're coming to do, then you can go back.
and that's is criminal. We don't welcome criminal here.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. So tell us, how did you make your way here, and how did you rise to the position you are now?
Well, because we are the part of like the just refugee that
Mhm.
American allow the Vietnamese in certain time that serving for the the old Vietnamese system, and then
Yes.
part of the politics matter. So American allows the Vietnamese come in here during that time. That's why from 1975 until 1995, majority of the people who come from Vietnam, they escape from the communists, or they come here as a refugee. So we come here legally.
Mhm.
So that's why I respect this country, and because this country give me everything. Because if I stay in Vietnam because of my family background, I cannot do anything with the government. And I don't know what my life going to turn out to be. I don't know if they change, if they don't change, and I cannot do any business either. Because back then when my dad tried to start business, and they try and come to shut down my dad's business because we are part of the old government system
This was in
in Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah. So that's why when I came here, I learned, I educate here, and then my whole family, we really, I mean, many Vietnamese people too, we really appreciate for this country. So that's why coming up on July 5th, if you don't mind, on July 5th this month, we're gonna have a Thank You America celebration, and we will perform this as an event to thank you America, allow the Vietnamese being here, because this is our 50 year of being in the US as a refugee. So a group of Vietnamese people have an event with nice entertainments, and we offer free administration with snack. So we have a hours of musics, and we use a national anthem is the kickoff for that night, and then it's all performed in American musics for that night. So I
Mhm.
mean, everybody welcome to be there. I mean, they can go into my Facebook and find out more about it. It's on the July 5th.
Okay. One, let me because I know District 40 and Senate District 15 uh, on your race. because let me get to some question here because I know we're going the first hour of the break. How's your campaign doing right now? How are you campaigning? Because the word on the street, let me tell you the word on the street, there's 2 Republicans. Are you in the 40, District 40? And Willie, hello, Willie. And BB, how you guys doing? The Democrat, they feel like you guys are not strong enough. Whoever win the primary, they're going to go straight to the general election on September 2nd. They feel like both of your guys' candidate, you and Willie, are not strong enough. How you want to address it when we come back, because we're going to take a break. And how you and your campaign and Willie campaign, because I know you guys team up together a little bit trying to campaign. Is that correct?
Yeah, because
Okay.
So we talk. I talk to Willie, and he's on the 15, and I'm on 40.
Okay.
So we don't have primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you don't have primary, but the Democrat feel like they're not going to have a general election because of you guys. They feel like the weakness. So I'm just, that's what's out there. So they told the Democrat, focus on the primary, don't worry about the general.
Well, it depends on what point of view that they're looking
Okay.
at.
Just hold on. We're going to go on a hard break. I want you to hold on to that thought. Okay.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Natasha Cruz, your family nurse practitioner. I run a med spa here in Metro West at 6996 Piazza Grande Ave in Orlando, Florida. We specialize in aesthetic medicine. We have lasers that are safe on all skin types. So if you're looking for laser hair removal, melasma treatment, Botox, or fillers, give us a call, 407-405-6074. Again, the number to reach me is at 407-405-6074. Talk to you soon.
Your body is a temple, but if you've been feeling sluggish, struggling with weight, or your hormones feel out of balance, it's time to give your body the care it deserves. God designed you for vitality and wellness. Skinny drops are a natural way to support your metabolism, restore hormonal balance, and help you release excess weight. They work with your body, not against it, so you can feel lighter, more energized, and aligned with the vibrant health God intended for you. I've seen so many women and men, including myself, break free from the cycle of exhaustion and weight struggles. When your body is in balance, the weight comes off naturally, and you feel renewed from the inside out. If you're ready to honor your body and step into the health God desires for you, buy Skinny Drops today. Call Shanti to get your box at 407-353-3743. Again, call Shanti to get your box, 407-353-3743.
Inspiration 1680 AM, WOKB Winter Garden, W2640F 100.7 FM Kissimmee, and around the world at WOKBradio.com. Inspiration 1680 AM and 100.7 FM Kissimmee. AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. Juneteenth, a federal holiday that celebrates the day freedom finally reached the last enslaved Black people 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Let that sink in. Freedom delayed was freedom denied. And while Juneteenth is now a holiday across America, schools are still banning Black history, DEI still under attack, and voting rights being gutted state by state even more. So what are we really celebrating if truth is being buried and rights rolled back? Juneteenth was not about a barbecue. It was about reckoning, the resilience of people who had been told they were free, then had to fight every day after to make it mean something. This year, don't just mark the moment, move in it and push policy forward. Teach truth and celebrate with purpose. Because freedom without justice, well, that ain't freedom. For these stories and more, go to AURN.com or follow me across social media at
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. We always fired up. I don't know what's wrong with Dr. White today. I really don't know. He's in a dancing mood. I don't know what water he's drinking. What I don't know. He's into something.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the second hour of our show, Political Flashback, every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. This is the only show in town where we have diverse conversation when it comes to politics, and we're not afraid. Yeah, we a lot of time we agree, we disagree among each other, but we tried our best and to put this show in town. We have political guests who come to our show. Okay, we try to book every Thursday, and we try to be fair to also the people, because I don't want, because the words out there, you didn't invite me, or if somebody say something on the show, like for instance, Florida Senate District 15, we invite a brother, he come in, the sister, we didn't send out an invitation, it was face to face, so she has welcome whatever the brother had say to come back. Same thing on yours. McCurdy was here last week running for that seat. Invited you. You were also invited last week, but you couldn't make it. And Wheelie, if you want, welcome to next week or throughout because you guys don't have a primary, so y'all got the whole floor there. So therefore, we open. Okay. So let me shout out to Johnny. Johnny, hello, how are you?
Johnny.
So. Roberto, how are you?
Roberto.
Yeah, I think before the break, I asked you the way the word on the street is for the Democrat to really focus on the primary, 40 and 15. They don't feel like going in the general election. Whoever win the primary and the Democrat side, they're gonna go straight to the general as a winning, so they don't have to put a lot of energy, put a lot of focus on the general election, on the special election. So I just want to ask you, how do you feel about that?
So you has mentioned earlier about on the street is saying I'm not strong enough or things like that, right? I don't think like what I just want to say, that strong enough in what point of view? In the Democrat point of view, that I am too conservative, or because I don't support LGBT, or because of don't support the illegal immigrant.
That point, they feel like this is a Democrat 40 and 50 is district, so therefore a Republican don't have a chance.
See, that's
the point.
Okay, okay. So see, the problem is because a lot of Democrat doesn't open the mind or accept the truth, and they are seeing it now through the economic, how President Trump do it, and see how the corruption within the Democrat right now is so bad. So if Republican look at this, what it changing right now in Florida, and what it changing on voter, how they see things before President Trump get in the office, nobody, people, especially the Democrat, they feel like the Republican doesn't have them taking care of them. But after President Trump in the office, even the Democrat see that President Trump and the Republican trying to do for the people. Mm-hmm. And I think because of the change right now is so fast from the time that President took this office the second time, which is only a few months, and now another Republican run for it, they feel like, okay, this is not the district for the Republican. But I don't think that's true anymore, because as I know, the fact is so many Democrat is switching to Republican, but they did not change on the ballot yet. They did not change on the registration. Mm-hmm. I mean, so many, and I met a lot of people who willing to vote for the Republican right now. And then, so on top of that, specifically me run for District 40, I have a better chance than a lot of people because I grow up in Pine Hill. I grow up and I went to Evan High School. So I understand the education, the education system here in District 40. And then I start business here in District 40 before I took a job at Kennedy Space Center.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the people here because I grow up here. And then I know the business here because I start business here.
Mm-hmm.
So because a lot of people don't pay attention. I mean, not people, but a lot of Republicans did not pay attention to the District 40 and District 15 here seriously of how things had changed. They just have the old set of mind is old set of mind that this District 15 and 40 is the Democrat. So,
I didn't know that you was brought up in Pine Hills. I mean, that's revealing. However, the Democrats are saying you're soft, right? And you have a compelling story, no doubt. What can you do? What type of punch can you throw at the Democrats to bloody their nose, to take notice of you? All right, to let them know that this is not going to be a cakewalk, and that you're Mr. Lee and you're here. You're not going to go anyplace, and you're going to be victorious at the end. What can you do?
See, one thing is I'm a fighter, and I'm keep fighting. And then if I don't get to where I want to be, I have to find out what I did wrong, and then why I did not go to where I want to go. But I keep trying it because of what I believe in and what I thought I can do. Then I will focus on that.
What's the major difference between you and your rival?
Okay, because I have a real experience that I built up for years, whether in professionally engineering or in business. So that's give me the difference than the opponent of Democrat. They are just talking about it. And I'm a real person that has the experience, and I has a diverse experience. So what we need in our country right now, in our state right now, or our community right now, is a person who have the experience instead of just talking. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So I has experience of being a businessman. I have experience as professional in engineering, and I had growing up has experience with the community. It's completely different, and I know what to do to help our community.
All right, I'd like to ask. So, as Voy said, we had Tavares McCurdy, who has been endorsed by the Orlando Sentinel. We do understand that the Sentinel isn't worth the words coming out of their mouth or the paper that the endorsement is written on. We get that. But nonetheless, they have endorsed McCurdy, who also is a son of Pine Hills. At least this is how he portrays himself. He calls himself the son of Pine Hills or the son of District 40. And you're calling the same because you grew up in Pine Hills and so on. So you both have those same similarities as in being, men of the community. So that right there is a, common sense thing for the two of you. And he's also done business in the community. From what I understand, he's advocated, and he was also a previous state representative in District 41, which is, the next one over. So my question is, it's being posed that you are not a threat, that right now, once the primary is done, whatever's happening in September, they're going to walk off with the prize. And so what Issa White is asking at this moment is, Tuan Lee, what are you going to do to let the other side know that you're here and you're looking to win? What are you going to do to convince the people to vote for Tuan Lee in this election?
Okay, so just start with when I come here, English is my second language. I have to work hard to learn. And then I came here as an immigrant. So there's so many immigrants here in Pine Hill. Like they come from Haiti, they come from Mexico, they come from, other place. I understand what they want and how to help them to succeed in this country, in the community. Because it's not just only black or white, there are also other people. And those people are struggle here right in District 40. And they don't have a solution for it. But I have a solution for it. I have a solution how to fix a problem. I have a solution how to help them. Because I came here with nothing to where I am right now. So I have to start from learning English, learning everything like everybody else, and support my family. And my parents, they don't speak English too. So we had a struggle time. That struggle is give me stronger in order for my family or for my community.
Now your business is in Pine Hill, right?
None of my business now here right now is in Orlando. Because none of my business in Orlando.
None of your business.
None of my business in Orlando.
Okay.
So I used to have business in Pine Hill.
Yes.
Right here in Orlando. But then now I don't do any business because I want to run a clean run. I want a clean run that I don't have business in here. I'm here to do what I have to do for our community because this is where I grow up. Mm-hmm. And then because I've been exposed to many different places. So I see the problem. And what I want is because I want to retire right here in Orlando. So that's why I come back here, fix the system, and give back to the community how I get here and how I become success in life. So that's it's a give back to community.
All right, Twan. So give us maybe your number one thing. What is your number one thing that you see that you want to do for the community of District 40? What's your number one?
Okay. So safety, specifically Pine Hill area, safety is the number one thing that I want to do. But because in order to make it more safety here, we have to have a better economic and educate people. So I already put in a platform of how and what I have to do, like a trade school with AI and robotic, because they can learn from the new technology, improve the economic right here in College Park and Pine Hill and Ocoee. And on top of that, we have to push hard for small business. So it's all connected. And one thing is the economic here, right here, and how to rezone the property that older than 50 years, whether business or residential, because I have a whole format of what to do and how to do and what bill I have to push out if I'm honored to be selected. So the major thing right here is the economic that will connect to education, it's connect to rezoning, and connect to the safety. Because when the economic is built good and strong with a good strategy, then we will have a good system here to fix all the problems that I has mentioned.
So tell me something. Your business is not in Pine Hill any longer. Now, what can you do to influence businesses to come into Pine Hill when your business is not there?
Because I want to start with everybody. Mm-hmm. I want to start with everybody, and I want to help other people's success. How can we bring a business together? I have a solution of how to bring a business together, and I have a solution how to start a business without have a lot of money. Because by doing that, I have to be example, for that. And then I haven't think of starting a business here yet. Like the one thing I want to do right now is how to put the system in the right place.
Okay. Well, Lee, you got a whole from September. Um, the good thing about you guys on the Republican side here, either 40 or 15, um, you'll have a vast way of campaigning because the whole field is yours for the Republican side. My thing is, how are you reaching out? And this is my last question, and we're gonna move on because of time, and you could hang on with us because we're gonna get to some political, national politics. Um, to reach out Republican voters, what are you and well, I want to put Willie into it. What are you doing to reach out to a lot of Republican voters and to convince some Democrat your plan, just like Dr. White asked you, that's what's going to work for this community, for the voters to give you a chance and opportunity to listen to you.
Okay, so first off, I've been working with Republican closely right now. We've been we have door knock already planned out. Republicans already helped me to do some door knock last week, and they passed out about 500 palm car last Saturday. So this coming up Saturday, we're gonna pass out a 1,000 palm car, and we do a 1,000 house door knock. So the Republican believe that I'm the strong candidate for the District 40. That's how they wanna. That's why they wanna help me to success. That's why they wanna help me to win this election, because they don't do this to everybody, but they do it to me right now because they believe that I have a chance to win. But I want the Democrats to understand that this is the change for me to help the community have a different future, of different experience of whether technology or business, because I come here with solution. I don't come here with our solution. Now, with the support from the Republican, that is give me more power, more energy of this election.
Okay. All right. Well, sure. Good luck. Anything that we could do to help, we'd be glad to. And Dr. White offer to campaign with you next week.
Sure. I mean,
absolutely. So he could also, because part of that District 40
it's part of 10.
It's part of 10. So
Of course,
it give you an opportunity to get out there. Dr. White and Sister Ware, we're gonna move to some national stuff. And Tuan Lee, you're welcome to hang out with us and get you set up stage for some national politics. Yeah. Dr. White, last week, I believe it was last week, Senator Alex Padilla of California, who was appointed by Gavin Newsom, we had replaced Kamala Harris. He was not elected. He was appointed to serve the remaining time of Kamala Harris' seat in the Senate. And we have the New York Comptroller candidate, Mayor Brad Linder, was arrested by ICE. Now this has become a thing for the Democrat to stage in front of ICE buildings so they could get arrested, say, well, we got arrested. And let's take Alex Padilla, who's also gonna up for re-election. He busted doing a press conference of Kristi Noem, the DHS secretary. Yeah. He was not invited. He was not wearing or introduce himself as a U.S. senator. That was a bad behavior, even though CNN agree that what the senator did was absolutely wrong. He was taken down, And if it was a normal person like me and you, we would have been resisting. We'll get charged resisting arrest. So he didn't get charged for resisting arrest. We look at the controller up in New York, who's the candidate for mayor, Brad Linder, who refused illegal criminal immigrant that he was protecting. Brad Linder is a candidate for the New York mayor race. Are these Democrats trying to get exposure? Are these Democrats trying to create chaos? We see Alex Padilla in the Senate floor say he was handcuffed, he was mistreated. What happened? I have a thing of his own word. What happened to nobody's above the law? Not a congressman, not a U.S. Senate. You came to a press conference, yeah, and he also sit in the immigration committee, which is he has the power to call the DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. And we see a couple days later how the Democrat, what happened in Minnesota with Melissa Hartman and State Representative John, let me make sure I get this correctly, who was assassinated, who was killed, Senator John Hoffman, by a Democrat appointee of Tim Walz. Yes. Okay, so now this is what the Democrat, and we know the Democrat Party has been the party of violence. We know the Democrat Party. Now they assassinate. Blood is in their hand. They assassinate their own due to the vote Melissa Hartman take on the no Medicaid, no health care for immigration. Okay?
Yeah.
Immigrant,
yeah. All right. First of all, Alex Padilla, no one knows him. All right. I mean, he was appointed. He has no fame of anything. And so, I mean, he utilized that time as 15 seconds of fame. 15 minutes of fame.
Viral.
That's what he did. I mean, he doesn't have any.
He was not a well-known either.
He wasn't known. Yeah. Nobody knows him.
Nobody knows.
He was staged.
The Democratic Party has become a party of slogans and sound bites. I mean, protest and slogans and sound bites. That means they have nothing to run on. Then what is also disingenuous about this is that they're trying to turn this thing into a civil rights argument, a civil rights movement. That's why they're hanging out in front of places and all of that. They're trying to play on the emotions and ignorance of people not remembering the history and the real protest movement of the 60s, 70s, and of the 80s dealing with apartheid. So they try to turn this into a civil rights argument. They try to turn this into a slogan. And look at us. We're fighting for the rights of the American people. They're fighting for nothing but their own political longevity. And that is wrong. And Americans are going to see right through this. And then they're fighting against the laws of the land.
But Dr. White and Sister Royer, Twan, we see what happened, and this is, and we'll have a clip a little bit later. Even people with some common sense, Stephen A. Smith and other people, CNN. I didn't expect that. The way Senator Alex Padilla was trying to rush to the stage to ask Kristi Noem a question, okay? We see the next day the assassination of state senator. Now we're living at a dangerous time. Think about this for a second. This is not normal in America anymore. We look at the history of the Democratic Party, how violent it has been in the past. Look at Abraham Lincoln assassination. after the proclamation of the slavery, he signed in.
Mhm.
You look at JFK when he went against the Democrat.
Yeah.
You look at MLK.
Yeah.
Okay. You look at Teddy Roosevelt assassination. Okay. You look at Ronald Reagan assassination, attempt assassination. Okay. You look at what happened here a couple months ago with the CEO of healthcare. Okay. He was a Democratic supporter. You look at the attempt assassination, minority whip Scalia's, who was a Bernie Sanders supporter. Okay. And I could go on and on. Now, the past election, Donald Trump.
Mhm.
Okay. And with all the revelation that we having right now, and I gotta tell you, you gotta be extremely careful. You, Tuan Lee, whoever's running, this is not normal anymore. These people and the FBI and the ICE agent responded properly of Alex Padilla, because when somebody's launching at you,
He's a big dude.
yeah, he's a big
6'4".
dude. You don't know what they're capable of doing. And after what we see happen in the state of Minnesota, Sister Warrior.
I would have to say that gentleman, he was very angry because Kristi Noem and the people in the room didn't know who he was. I'm a senator. You're supposed to recognize me.
And that's how he was in America.
And that's how he was. And the thing about it is, this guy is a no name. Nobody knows you. You walk into a room, you push yourself like a big bully, and of course they're going to stop you. And then he was upset because they handcuffed him. I mean, this is not
what happens.
Nobody's above the law. Right. Nobody's above the law. You don't walk in a room in that way. Again, if we're going to play woman in this moment, you're coming aggressively towards this female. Again, why are you doing that? These people, and you just laid it out very nicely there, Voy, all of these different assassinations that's happened through this country, all of the assassination attempts, all of these things have been done at the hands of Democrats, including President Trump's recent also assassination attempt, a couple of times of that. Again, these are the people that we're dealing with. These people are violent. And so with that guy rushing into the room, who knows what he could have been doing? Well, who knows what he could have been preparing to do? They had every right to stop him. I'm actually surprised they didn't shoot him. And he got away that day.
I agree with you, because, I mean, right now the Democrats are trying to create an atmosphere for a civil war. I mean, if they can create an atmosphere that people feel as if their rights are being denied, and the only way to stop it is to utilize violence, that's what they do. Remember,
and they have the history of it.
They have, but even what's the name of the Congress lady out of Los Angeles? Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters.
All right. She used terms like "get them."
Yeah.
All right. Get them down. Even Mr. Frost here, in our own area, utilizing incendiary words, heated words, and violent words.
And let me share something with you. I'm going to go in further with this. When Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, was trying to incite Donald Trump to say, well, he's going to arrest me. He's going to put me in jail. But you look at, if Donald Trump did not call the National Guard, and now Gavin, you see how they lie. Good thing is there's the phone call with Gavin Newsom and President Trump was recorded. President Trump did mention that to him. And you look at what happened during the George Floyd, where some of this blue state governor was reluctant, being appeasement to these protesters. You look at what happened in Minnesota. We had a damage of $8 billion and 900 police officers was injured. Okay. So Trump said, well, this is not going to happen again. And if you didn't take action in California would have been burning right now, and Gavin Newsom would have been alive because with Karen Bass, because this thing was all planned. So when that failed to Gavin, the president can go out there arrest Gavin Newsom. Now you see Senator Alex Padilla staging this to promote more violence.
Absolutely.
And this was not being accountable for this, to promote that violence. So and you had Maxine Waters that said, "Where's the violence?" Well, a whole interstate was shut down. Rock was throwing. I mean, if you don't call that violence, what is violence to the Democrat? And I'm glad I'm living in the state of Florida, where Governor DeSantis say, "Well, if this thing's happening in Florida, run him over."
Well, what about the sheriff?
Yeah, we're not going to tolerate this.
The sheriff in Broward County.
Broward County. We're not going to tolerate this. So, and you see, during the protests on June 14, there's no incident happened in Florida. Okay. There's no incident happened. So the reason why, and this is the way the Democrat is going, and this is the way they're going to try to persuade the 2026 election going to the primary. It is a dangerous time. This is not the America that we know. I know, Twan, you're a candidate, so how do you feel about this? Because let me hear you from this point.
Back to this again. You know, I feel like if I'm the president.
But you as a candidate, look at all this violence, all this, and
I mean, how would you stop violence like this if you're the representative? What would you do?
Well, it's for me. First thing, it's not acceptable. The violence. I come from different world. I have a different view at the Gavin Newsom have. So for me, it's not acceptable in first place. So I won't support this at all. You know, I will do everything to against it and stop it. You know, so from my my perspective, I would use law enforcement to keep the violence down, because I don't accept it. Whatever, everything is happening right now in LA and in Chicago, you know, and other place. So as a politician, I will use anything that I can to make sure the people were protective, and I want to make sure that the city is secure.
Well,
so,
how tall are you?
Me?
Yeah.
5'5".
How about if what would you do if a guy 6'7" rushed you while you're speaking?
He knows some Taekwondo.
You know Taekwondo?
Well,
you're a black belt.
Well, I don't know. People think
some Tai Chi.
People think I do, but I don't. But you know what? I will fight.
That's right.
I will fight. If they come after me, I don't care. I will use all my strength and use all my power to fight for it. And you know what? This country, we have law. We have to make sure that the law.
Go ahead.
We have to use the law.
You carry a gun?
Well, I carry a gun.
That's
You better carry one.
You carry a gun, right?
You better carry your gun, Twan, because it's dangerous out here.
Jeff, let me play that clip. Let me say hello to some people on Facebook. Anna Burgers say I disagree. Hello, Anna. Which part you disagree with? Dina is watching. Say hello to the people on Facebook. But Dr. White, this is not something to play with. This is America's going in a different direction in this political environment.
This Senator Alex Padilla, can Kristi Noem speak? Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions, to shout your questions? You are a senator, right? You couldn't wait? So that was just you out of control because you were just losing it up. You, a United States Senator, couldn't compose yourself and let the head of Homeland Security finish her thoughts before you asked the question. Couldn't do that, huh? Couldn't do it, huh? Here you have this Senator, Alex Padilla. Can Kristi Noem speak? Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions? To shout your questions? You are a senator, right? You couldn't wait? So that was just you out of control because you were just losing it up. You, a United States Senator, couldn't compose yourself and let the head of Homeland Security finish her thoughts before you asked the question. Couldn't do that, huh? Couldn't do it, huh? And you have this.
No, they want to go viral.
And you have this.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my favorite sheriff in Florida. That's for you, Dr. White.
Oh yeah.
If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop.
Yeah, that's Sheriff
That's
Ivy.
our own Clint Eastwood.
That's what you got to do to teach these people. You need to stay in your lane and respect what's happening. Respect the law. Be respectful.
Sister Warrior and Dr. White, let me ask you guys this very specific question. The incident that happened in Minnesota. Now, if a Democrat had voted is now the way this country is going, we are a very divided country. These people are a cult, a violent cult. No Democrat could step out not voting against their own agenda. So there is no middle ground anymore. Right. Because that's what portrayed that happened in the state of Minnesota under Tim Walz's governorship. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now when you have Democrat running for Congress or the state House and the Senate, okay, if they don't vote with the cult, you could be assassinated.
Man,
that's the message. Go ahead, Sister Warrior.
I think it is crazy, absolutely insanity that we are in this point in our society where politics has become so dangerous that if you speak or if you act in accordance to what your community needs and it goes against the machine and what they want, they will seriously kill you. They will assassinate you. That's where we are. And I mean, it's unfortunate. We did lay out the unfortunate history of Democrats. Assassinations is not new to them, right? This is something that they've been playing in their playbook for a long time. But now it's really, really becoming full force that they attempted to assassinate two of these people. One survived and the other one was killed. And they had a list of other people that they were getting ready to hit again. This is not how America should be. We should be able to disagree without wondering if we're going to be shot or assassinated. We should be able to vote the way we want to, the way our conscience tells us to make it better for our communities. Where we're now worried, now we've got to have bodyguards, now we have to have all of these things to protect us because these people are crazy lunatics. It shouldn't be that way. And another thing that I'm going to say is that people like us who are looking to run for office, to take on these positions, I'd say, you know what? It's a scary place, a scary arena to even go into because they killing their own as Democrats. Guess what? They will kill us on the other side too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I have listed right in my book, blacklisted, exactly what you just stated. All right. That we live in that time. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I never said it before. During my campaign, last time, somebody actually challenged me for a fight. All right. They're pulling me out. They said, "Oh, I know you used to be a boxer." So I knew they had a gun because they did not like my perspective, my narrative. And that's something I've been talking about and writing about for some time. Now it's on Front Street. This is nothing to play with.
You know,
No.
I have a story too. This has nothing to do with politics because this happened before I ran for politics. But people threatened to kill me once. I mean, twice. One time they wanted to they wanted to kill me, and another time they want to drop the bomb out of my business.
Wow.
Yes, I'm serious.
Wow.
So my employee heard that too. So when the incidents happened last couple of days, my wife asked me, say, Tuan, you care for this country, but these people, they don't care about you.
No, they only care for about power right now. The Democrat.
Yeah.
Let me play Melissa right before the vote, right before assassination, after the vote, after she took the vote. Let me play her.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut wrench at this decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Hortman knows she let down her own caucus members with the vote.
They're right to be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job was to make folks who voted for that bill feel like crap, and I think that they succeeded.
When it comes to the president's position on foreign policy in general,
Dr. White, I don't have a nice way of putting this. Maybe in the past, I look at the history of this country. Okay. What make us great in America, because we were a freedom country. When I say freedom, you could feel like you could run an election without fear, without persecution. All this been thrown away. Look at what happened to Donald Trump during the Biden administration. Pure political persecution. Okay. Now you have Democrat. If you caucus with the Republican, they're gonna take you out. Okay. So this is real.
Well, yeah.
A state representative and a state senate lost their life.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. So now Tim Hall's the governor who had appointed Vince Bolter, the assassin. Tim Hall should be under investigation. And the whole Democratic caucus in Minnesota should be investigated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would agree with you. The problem there, though, in Minnesota, that's like asking the fox to investigate himself after killing the chickens. That's what they have there. They have so many Democrats there. Yep. They will not investigate themselves. And the problem is, again, wait a second, is that we had created an atmosphere, all right? An atmosphere that says, again, that if you go outside the narrative, as I put it in the manuscript,
in your book,
they will go after what? Your character first, right? Secondly, they will go after your family, cause disruption. Next, they go after your pocketbook, your business, like they did, try to bomb your business. Somebody did. Then they create false charges against you, to invest you on false charges. If that doesn't work, they will outright kill you. And that means that democracy in many respects is dead in this country. It's just a few of us who are real patriots, who's trying to hold on to this thing of democracy, all right, and cultural pluralism, that we can have different views but still be civil.
But we had a point, Dr. White. If you look at the left, the radical left, there's no more compromise.
That's right.
There's no more the Reagan Democrat, the conservative Democrat. And have you seen this happening in our eyes? You don't see the media focus on that, do you?
No. In fact, they're part of the problem.
They're part of the problem.
Yeah.
You don't see the media going around in Minnesota trying to investigate this.
No.
Instead, they're trying to say, well, this guy, he's a Republican. It's out there already. And who were appointed by Tim Walz.
That's right.
They come up with, oh yeah, there's other people on the list, and then there's no list.
Yeah.
So my ask is, have we heard what the FBI, Kash Patel, the DOJ, where are they on this? Are they getting on top of this to investigate so we can get to the bottom of this?
I'm pretty sure it's going to take a lot of time, because you look at it happened in their state. The federal government going to step into this, but this is the new day in America. Amania, let me drop another bombshell on you, Dr. White. Kash Patel, Congress intel allegedly Chinese plot in the 2020 election. The Biden administration and FBI Christopher Wray cover it up. The Chinese was printing out fake driver's license for illegal immigrant to go out there and vote, Chinese immigrant. And Christopher Wray hide that information. Didn't even put it out there. Now, when we're talking about J6, that the election was stolen, you see all the listen to the media. They said there was no fraud, but now this information is being exposed. What the Chinese was printing out, fake ballot and fake driver's license. And the person that was in charge of the intelligence in the White House said this is one of the best elections that happened in history.
Mm-hmm. And what's disturbing about that, Voy, is that Christopher Wray, they found out about this at around August before the election, by 2 months.
Did not notify Congress.
And they did nothing about it. They sat on it. They knew months before the election that these things were happening.
So, and they were telling us this is conspiracy theory, all this out there. This was Joe Biden win the election fair and square, and this is all this information, and we knew.
I mean, what gets me is that how would the Chinese get in? How would they have that much power, that much influence? How did they get in to do this?
Well, you just heard 2 weeks ago when before the contract with the Trump and the Chinese government, Trump said about almost 400 Chinese students, they all spy in this country, in our university. You look at lately what happened with 2 Chinese who were trying to get biolab out of Michigan. So this and part of these Chinese students to be in America is to be part of the CCP, to report to China. This is dangerous times.
See, all this is not surprising me at all about Chinese, about the CCP. It's not surprising me at all. Because no, not at all. Because they do this to many countries in Asia, and they do this in our country here in America, it's normal because their task is to be the world leader. They will do everything they can. They won't step down this time. They don't want President Trump in the office in first place. That's why they helped the Democrats to cheating on the 2020. And then now they want to take us down with any way they can. Who behind Iran? Chinese. Who behind all the problem right now? It's Chinese behind that. It won't surprise me at all. For American people, they don't know anything about Chinese CCP, but most of Asian country, we all know about that. And then all the corruption that within the government, our country, the China has put their hand into it. And when there are a congresswoman have the driver is a Chinese spy. And then that Chinese spy is with the congresswoman for 25 years. Wow. How much information is go in the car for the driver? And then on top of that, there's so many American politician men married to the woman who had connected CCP.
Our ex-majority leader, his wife is Chinese. The congressman out of California, Steve Sorrell, was sleeping with a Chinese spy.
Yeah.
So Dr. White, if we don't take action, and you guys go to Congress and bring some resolution and expose this, we are in serious trouble in this country. And that's going to bring to my final point here, because I know 6:54 right now. We don't have a lot of minutes. This war conflict now, Israel and Iran. We'll talk about it next week, and I need to get your perspective. And also, we're going to focus on this new bombshell, the Christopher Wray and James Comey. Those two FBI, they need to be in prison. This is enough. But let's get back to Israel. A couple days ago, the supreme leader, Alator, was on target to take him out. Donald Trump said no. This conflict is being escalated. What is your viewpoint on that, Dr. White and Sister Warrior?
We have a number of warmongers in Washington, both parties, that's trying to push Trump into this war. We don't need to get in a war with Iran. Most Americans don't want it. If we get into a war with Iran, it's going to be worse than Afghanistan. There's no way out. So leave it alone. If Israel wants to fight them, let them fight them. It's not our conflict. It's not Trump's conflict. It's their conflict.
Okay. To that point, Iran is 7 months away from building a nuclear bomb that could reach Israel, wipe up the
we
history
heard that
of
before.
Well, they're 7 months away from it. So
Yeah.
if we'll just like we let Hitler, and look at what happened. So therefore, if that's the case, and also when Iran chanting death to America, death to Israel, should not we take that seriously?
We heard the story before during Desert Storm that Iraq was just months away from had weapons of mass production.
I agree with you on that one, but hey,
they lied. I don't think this is it, and I don't think they're 7 months away. And even the international bodies.
Well,
have said
for a
this
country
is not true.
keep saying death to America, Dr. White, I don't think I agree with you there, Sister Amania. You got a minute? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Issa White. We, the people, voted Donald Trump in. We said no more wars. We don't care who, what Israel, what country, no more wars. We don't want our sons and daughters. I've got a son in the service. I don't want my son going to die, to shed blood for other countries for a war that's been going on since the beginning of time. It's none of our business. We stay out of it. And like you said, Issa White, we've heard this story before. They cry. Oh, this is coming. Nuclear war, nucleus. And so we got to stop them. And so we go into a war. 20 years later, we're still in a war. I say no, Donald Trump, you keep us out of it.
That's right.
Thank you, Amania. Thank you, Tuan. I don't believe I'm hearing that to my two Republican friends out here.
You didn't ask me for that.
Go ahead. You got a second. A second you got. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? the leader of Iran is trying to, and then China try to trap President Trump into this, but he have to make a smart move. How he make the move, we can talk next time. If I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you, my sister warrior. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Dr. White. Thank you, Twan. Good luck on your election, District 40. And also, we're trying to reach out to Willie. So we'll give everybody the opportunity. So thank you so much. Thank this great audience. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.